Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your general reading for March 2023. This is a general reading and the messages may not resonate with everyone. I do suggest that you check back to your moon and rising sign videos. That may resonate more. In order to gain any insight into your own personal situation requires a personal reading. You can go to my About Box channel, my About Box section of my channel, and there I have listed the reading packages. So it's the number of minutes, the number of questions, and the price. And then you can email me at my address up here, hiddenlotustarot@gmail.com. Say, hey Tara, I want the 45-minute reading. I will email you back and then we'll set up a time. We'll schedule it that way. We are, for all intents and purposes, in the middle of February. It's only 28 days in this month, and March is right around the corner, the spring equinox, daylight savings time. Hopefully the weather's going to be clearing up. It'll be a little bit nicer. We've all been under some kind of crazy weather. But anyway, I have with me today the Radiant White deck. We will be clarifying with Leviticus Sabila. And since I've already started with the Golden Nostradamus card, we're going to go ahead and continue using that one, okay? So let me turn the camera around. Hopefully it won't get all out of whack. I don't know why they don't have a way to control the camera with the MacBook. It's just kind of strange. You spend a lot of money on it and you think that's what they'd, do. So anyway, I'm going to put one more shuffle and rifle on these cards and then we will lay them. I hope everyone is well. What's today? Valentine's Day is not here yet, so I'm going to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day. I think I've already put out that reading. Here we go. First card down, the Two of Wands. Well, now, the Queen of Cups, and that card came out in the same position as in the Aries reading. The Eight of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune. The Six of Swords. That's interesting. The Justice card. Let me put these out. There's definitely a change coming. Last row. The Knight of Cups. The Three of Pentacles. And the last card down, the Three of Wands. Now, what is the energy over the entire reading? Well, now, it is the Four of Pentacles. Well, let's just start with the Four of Pentacles first, and just kind of get that out of the way. Fours represent, in the tarot and in numerology, it represents the idea of stable foundations, okay? It's a square. The Four of Pentacles can represent the idea of conserving or saving. Because it is a pentacle, it represents not only finances, but it represents the idea of the material world. So this could be not just saving your money, but saving your body, saving your emotional health, your mental health. It can be the idea that you have everything right now that you need. You're in a pretty good spot. But it can also sometimes be an indication of either greed or miserliness. In other words, someone is not willing to share something with you, whether this is money, whether this is love, whether this is their body, whether this is their emotions, okay? So we'll come back to that in a minute. What do I have in the spread itself? I have 2 pentacles, 2 wands, a sword, and 2 cups, along with 2 major arcana cards. Let me take a sip of my tea here. This top row, past, present, future, interplay of the cards. When I first put this row down, and it's somewhat like the same energy as the first row that we saw in the Aries reading. So some of you might be an Aries rising or an Aries moon. Then what I'm dealing with, because we know that Taurus is an earth sign. So here with this Queen of Cups, to me, this is an indication of you, and this is no matter if you are male or female, or you identify with the male or female role, that you are in your emotions. You are thinking about something. You are feeling something quite deeply. You are turning it over. Maybe you might even be in emotional turmoil. Okay. Although this queen represents someone who is sympathetic and empathetic, kind and caring, she can sometimes be quite selfish and manipulative emotionally. But it's all based around emotions. So this lets me know that you're feeling something. Now, the back of this queen is to this 8 of Pentacles. And so what this tells me is that you are... not necessarily that you've turned your back on something that you've been working on, but yes, almost as though you've turned your back on something that you've spent a lot of time working on. Maybe you've been doing it every single day. Maybe you've been learning a new skill or a new craft or some new kind of ability. Maybe this is about literally making money, and you are questioning that. There's a choice here that has to be made, and that's what 2s represent. 2s represent choices, options, dualities, oppositions, whether you are opposed within yourself about something or someone is actively opposing you. It speaks to a crossroads. So I think that some of you, it may be the idea that you're questioning what you've been doing, the manner in which you've been doing it, how long you've been doing it. This can be sometimes a card of the internship or the apprentice. Maybe you're working under somebody and you're kind of like getting tired of doing that. You might want to be striking out on your own here. Although that's kind of not what that card means. But that's the energy that's coming across. Now, the major arcana cards are your spiritual lessons. The Wheel of Fortune, the spiritual lesson associated with this card is understanding the ebb and flow of life. You know, things are born and then they die. Things die and then they regenerate. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, right? And so the Wheel of Fortune definitely speaks to the idea of some kind of change. It always indicates some kind of major life change coming. Okay, but it can also be saying that if you're down at the moment, then the only way to go up will be up. But if you are up, you can expect to take a turn down. That is the cycle of life. That is the ebb and flow. And so the best way to avoid any upheaval that comes with the turning of the wheel, okay, is to affix yourself in the center. That's the lesson of the Wheel of Fortune. The Justice card can be an indication of both secular and karmic justice. Maybe some of you have a lawsuit pending, or you're thinking about a lawsuit, or you have some kind of legal issue, the secular world. But the Justice card also, in terms of karmic law, says that no matter how the situation turns out, even if you get the short end of the stick, justice has been served, so now it's best to move on. But also, the idea of justice is the idea of fairness and balance and harmony. It represents the sign of Libra, which rules the 7th house. This is of partnerships, and this can be any kind of partnership. And I do have an indication that there are at least 3 people involved in this situation, at the very least. And a friendship, a business relationship, a romantic relationship. There really are no cards here of... necessarily, let's say, romance. So being about the 7th house, the sign of Libra, this can be your opposite. This can be exes. This can be future partners. It could be friendships, familial relationships, business partnerships. But also it represents, Libra is ruled by the by the planet Venus. And Venus is not just love and beauty and harmony. She is also about right relationships. She is about values, value systems, who and what is more important than money or gold. But the card also is asking you this idea to weigh up something. You see the scales there, and scales are typically used to weigh up 9 times out of 10 different substances, and then trying to find the balance between the two. Okay, but right in the center I have the Six of Swords. It is a 6, and it says that you have attained some type of balance in your life. But because it's a Swords card, it represents thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and or communications. So this could be the ego speaking to us. This can be the self-talk that we run in our head, that script that we hear in our head. It could be something you've said to someone or that someone has said to you. It could be simply the way that you are thinking. So the 6 comes in to say that you will be moving from stormy waters to smoother waters, or there might be a trip taken around water, by water, near water. But there's also an indication of separating or removing yourself, whether this is in a literal sense or perhaps a mental sense, right? Moving yourself away from someone or a situation. So I've seen the card presage breakups, divorces, separations. This is in any type of relationships. You are removing yourself from a situation that hasn't been too good for you, and you're trying to move to a better shore. Let me put it that way. Now, this Knight of Cups, you heard me say, well, this doesn't feel to me like a romantic relationship. And in a way, it kind of doesn't, but it doesn't negate that it may be. The Knight of Cups, all knights for me represent events. And what I mean by that is they represent news. And that news comes in. The knight's job in a tarot card reading is to move a situation along. But what this message indicates to me is that it's a news that has some kind of emotional attachment or quotient to it. And it's a fickle message. It's not a secure message. It's not a safe message. It's not one set in stone. Why? Because the horse has not crossed the stream of water yet. And as you can see, there's not a lot of water there. Okay? So the horse is stopped in mid-stride. Now, this could represent someone who's dreamy and romantic and makes you feel all special, but yet they never really kind of make it clear what their intentions are. Or it's just, it could be the idea of fantasy. It could be someone who is not really committed in a way. And this could be committed in any type of relationship. But we see, in a sense, there's an offer here. He's coming with a cup. And then we come to the Three of Pentacles. Now, the Three of Pentacles can be the idea of building something. Over here, we've got the 4, right? And after the 3 comes the 4. So this is the start of building something. 3s always indicate a moment of pause before any future successes can be realized. It can say that there are 3 people involved. The Three of Pentacles can talk about new financial opportunities or joining forces with someone to start something new. As we can see, there's 2 people here. They have their plans in their hand, and they go to this third person who's on a bench, and this indicates, because he's a bit elevated, that he has a bit more knowledge and skill and talent and ability in terms of whatever it is they're trying to do. But what they're trying to do is to get some information from this guy. And I find the other interesting thing about this is this line here. You know, we're looking back over the past, and we have to decide, are we going to return to the past, or are we going to allow our passions and determination and focus return to the past, or are we going to turn around and take this wand here? And what we see is at some point, one of you will be moving away to having made the decision. Now those 2 wands are behind you. So this lets me know as well that there is going to be a decision made. Okay. Now the thing about this particular card is that we don't know if this guy's waiting for his ship to come in or if he sent him out to sea. Either way, there's this idea or it implies this sense of waiting. Okay, we have to wait to know something. The wands represent our passion, our focus, our desires, our energy. Okay, the pentacles represent finances and the doing of something. The cups are emotions. The pentacles, I just did the pentacles, and the swords are again about thoughts, belief, perceptions, ideas, and communication. And so I feel that there is a conflict about whether to quote unquote stay where you are or to move to someplace new, whether this is a literal move or metaphorical move. Okay. Also, I feel that there may be some element of, I don't know, distrust, perhaps. The 6 swords here with the sword of truth, this ace that the justice card is, the figure in the justice card is holding, gives me 7 swords. So there could be maybe a belief that there's been some lies and or some deception and or some treachery. People not being on the up and up or behaving one way and saying something different. And so I'm gonna be looking at this 6 of Swords, and I'm gonna be looking at this Knight of Cups here, because this is a fickle energy. It's like I've been working hard on this. Now it's, you know, I think I'm gonna leave, but then a message comes in, and I think whatever this message or this information, there might be a change of heart or change of mind. And sometimes that's what that 7 of Swords can say. It can say that sometimes there's a change, you know, something happens, someone returns, a situation comes back, and now there's going to have to be a change of heart or a change of mind. Okay. And so I'm going to turn these 2 cards over, and I think what I find another interesting thing is this queen and this knight are connected in the same suit. So I don't know if this queen is sending out messages or if this message, most definitely the message is intended for this queen. So even though you are an earth sign, this is you. Okay. Now, as I said, I'm going to turn these 2 cards over. And what does that leave me? It leaves me the 2 of Wands, the 8 of Pentacles, the 6 of Swords, the 2 threes. It is important that I have 2 threes here. Okay. Because the numbers are repeating themselves as they relate to both the Wheel of Fortune and the Justice card. And interestingly, this is number 10 and this is number 11. So this lesson, you know, it changes, and sometimes we have to just leave things behind, and that's the right thing. Whether it's, you know, what we want to do, no matter how we feel about it, maybe we get left behind. It's the right thing, no matter how we feel about it. Okay, so let's take a look. We're going to start in the order in which they fell. The 2 of Wands. First, let's see if there's anything, the 2 of Wands with either of these cards. There is nothing, but remember I'm talking to you about this implication of the 7 of Swords, where I'm going to throw this out here because I think it applies in for someone, is an indication that unnecessary disturbances over insignificant and unnecessary situations may take place in the near future. The message is to sort out any problems as soon as they arise. Now, it talks about the necessary preparation already being made. It indicates a kind of crossroads has been reached and that a choice or decision is now called for. It suggests that this is the right time for assessment and planning. Okay? Says there's a focus on a relationship with others, and this card indicates a need for independence and or solitude. It may be indicating a business venture which has security, but there is still a need to look beyond that. It tells of achievement in business and career success, but also shows a person that has the world in their hands and knows that they still have something yet to do. The card says that in regards to businesses and finances, if you were to cleverly yet fairly negotiate, the outcome would be favorable. It tells of boldness, courage, and embarking on a new enterprise. but it also indicates that a letter or message will provide you with the answer to an important question to do with a contract or a transition, and we see that here. Okay, 8 of Pentacles. Don't have anything as they relate to these two cards. It says that sometimes this card denotes a person who has worked in a particular field, but who decides to change direction career-wise in an effort to make a fresh and new start. It can indicate a midlife crisis type of situation, and I never get that with this particular card. It represents studying, learning, trades and skills, professions, personal power, self-confidence, inner strength, good judgment, discernment, giving and receiving, thoroughness, dependability, self-reliance, and inner wisdom. And it is an 8. 8s are usually positive numbers. They come to say that a situation will be moving. However, sometimes the card can be an indication that there might be some kind of delay. Now, for me, the energy of this past row at the top is reading this way. So the timing for this, maybe there's something you did or something that you were doing relating back to August or September of 2022. And now you're having to rethink that. Okay. A change in direction. The 6 of Swords. With the Wheel of Fortune. It's right here. Tells you to expect some changes in the financial and or material realms. You are due to reap the rewards for work done in the past. Well, I don't know. There's karma right there. Do not take any unnecessary risk at this time, as in the near future will be more auspicious as financial benefits are on their way into your life. Now, this is a 10, remember, and 10s always speak about changing energies. So with the 6, with the 10 before the 6 of Swords, it is an indication of travel, journey, a vacation, or holiday, or even a change of residence. It may involve a major decision, which will ultimately lead to movement of some kind. But it is also a message to look carefully at all aspects of the situation, as there may be some hidden traps or pitfalls. So look out for unnecessary expenditures. That's that 7 of Swords that keeps presenting itself to me. Okay, now we come to the 2 threes. And the first thing you need to know about 2 threes, I think one of them was that 2 threes can speak of a small but pleasant surprise in a relationship situation. 2 threes can say that one of you is craving more change and excitement. I don't know. There's that right there. Okay. So we're looking at the 3 of Pentacles. I went the wrong way. With the Wheel of Fortune, it tells you to have faith and trust in your own talents. You will find success in your endeavors. With another 3 card, it is an indication that hard work and some obstacles will present before completion of successful work and rewards. It speaks to more than one person being involved. It also suggests, as I told you, that there may be a period of suspended activity before future successes are realized. The card can signify a need for planning and forethought, and can be a sign to slow down and consider things carefully before taking action, rather than taking on more than you can handle. It can indicate an opportunity that may lead to promotion and or gain in a business transaction or commercial venture. It indicates an excellent time for construction or renovations to all buildings, be they homes, office buildings, sheds, and the like. Plans and works will run smoothly and efficiently. And now we come to the 3 of Wands. And so I'm going to be taking a look at him, and this card. Okay? And that was the 2. The 3 of Wands with the Justice card. It is a message of encouragement, as eventually you will benefit from all of your past efforts. Keep going, as you will reap better than expected rewards. Well, that's interesting. Appearing in a reading, this card can be an indication of someone of sound knowledge may be available to offer the assistance needed. Keep an open mind and an open ear. This card may be related to business venture or project, but also a new career, life path, or lifestyle. It suggests that the end is in sight and only a little more is left to do. It suggests the tying up of loose ends and someone who is coming to terms with past thoughts, but who purposefully creates positive thoughts. Well, so this 4 kind of makes sense. This idea that maybe you are just waiting, you are conserving, you are biding your time, you're not doing much of anything. So I'm going to take a look first, right in the center, this 6 of Swords. Oh, and I didn't look at that card. Oh, yes, I did. I think I did. I did. With the Wheel of Fortune is what it came to, I believe. Yes, and the 10. I did. Okay. So, first I want to look at this 6 of Swords, because everything else is going on around it. The Vecchia Signora. The Pensiero. And the Casa. Now, the Vecchia Signora can sometimes be an indication of an old female friend, like a grandma or an aunt or someone like that. But in this instance, it is an indication of things being done the same old way, and someone giving thought about that in regards to, if not their home or home environment, then their property, because that's what the Casa can represent. It can represent land, houses, apartments, condos. It can represent, it even looks like an official building, so like a bank or something of that nature. But it is also an indication of those things that sometimes we keep inside, that people don't see, what happens behind closed doors, okay? I want to look at this this Knight of Cups. I'm looking at the 2 golden labs walking down the street. What is this fickle message, this emotional message coming through? The Gran Signore would be someone who could give that good advice, who's well known, who's prosperous, who's wealthy, who's well respected in the community. If not that, then the most important man in your life. The Dottore. This lets me know that this particular individual is in a position to help. There's the offer or the proposal. But also, this individual is a degreed individual. So he could be a lawyer. He could be, someone who works in finance. He can, any place where someone has a degree, okay? He can even be a literal doctor. Never a surgeon, but more of a general practitioner kind of person. Also, there's this connotation of the idea of help. But there's a negative connotation here, and I just want to see what this other card, the Malinconia. There it is. So this can sometimes be an indication that if not this person helping you, then you want to help this person, because you feel as though there's something he needs. You want to take care of him in some way, shape, or form, and that would be the motivating factor for being in the relationship. Here we have the Malinconia, the sadness. So the card talks about tears and anxiety, being sad about something or someone that you've lost, not necessarily to death, but there's a split or separation or division between the two of you. It speaks about dark clouds looming over, but it says that it will pass, okay? some sadness or disappointment or something of that nature. Maybe the offer isn't what you expected it to be, or not all you wanted it to be. And finally, the Two of Wands. I've ran over my time. The Leggerezza, the carefree card or the carelessness card. The Messaggere, there it is, the message from far away, which could be an indication of this. And the Dispiacere. Well, it's quite interesting. You know, if the cards were like this, or even if they were like this, it tells me a different story, but they're not. It's like this. The Leggerezza card can be the card of, let's say you've miscalculated a situation, or you've misjudged someone. You weren't able to see clearly who or what the situation was all about. We see the message from far away coming in. It doesn't tell me what the message is about, but it definitely says that there's been some kind of miscalculation or something to it. But we already see the reaction to the message. The reaction comes first before the message. Well, not necessarily. To me, it reads that way because these figures are faced this way. Just reading it that way, it is a miscalculation. The news comes in, and now what we see is the reaction to it. And it says that whatever the reaction is, you see she's opened it, she's read it, right? And it doesn't, again, tell me what the letter contains, but what it says is that whatever this message is, it cuts to the quick. Okay? So, let's, I still say that, that no matter how this turns out, I think it will be okay. I just think there's some temporary, I don't know, pain or discomfort associated with it. The card that comes out is the Key. You saw it flew itself out of the way. Out of the deck, I mean. It is the Key, and keys are important. Keys can either unlock things or lock them away. While the downcast are fast asleep, like the blissful, they have no need to weep. This card announces the opening of new doors, many opportunities, and overall improvements in the quality of life and good fortune. Open yourself to new possibilities. You will be lucky. So again, this is saying, you know, if you got to leave a situation or somebody that left you behind, it might be a blessing in disguise. So until next time, be well, stay safe, and namaste.